Deshaun Watson and his whereabouts and story is, I mean, just to say it's quiet is not even a proper statement. What is the scoop on that? Are you hearing anything on that front?
Well, I do appreciate that Kareem Jackson went on a podcast with, who was that? One of his former teammates. Was it Talib's podcast? Anyway, went on a podcast and said that Deshaun Watson told him that Denver is where he wants to be. Check with some people. Not really true. What's happening with Deshaun Watson is everyone is recruiting. Really, everyone across the NFL is being like, hey, man, you should come join us. And it sounds like Watson is pretty open. Like, yeah, hey, that'd be great. Yep, would love it. Yep, we'll see what happens. Open to it. And, you know, Kareem Jackson probably embellished that conversation a little bit for the pod. And, you know, here we are. But, you know, I would say Denver is probably one of many options for Deshaun Watson. And you talk about the quiet. The reason it's quiet is just because there's nothing going on. There's been no settlement, despite, I would say, significant settlement talks. There's been nothing agreed to, and we've seen the lawyers go back and forth on that. There's still teams interested in trading him, but it hasn't happened yet, and I haven't gotten the sense the Texans have engaged with anyone at all yet. So we're just literally nowhere. And, you know, minicamp is next week, assuming they have it, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, there are some teams that I guess are canceling their mandatory mini camps, and that I heard the Texans are considering that. Well, I read that from John McClain in Houston. It's kind of bizarre that a team that, you know, finished so poorly and is at such a square one that they would forfeit reps and things of that nature. But when you're saying there's significant, there were talks to actually settle this thing in a manner that would then place it in front of the commissioner to see how many games, if any, Watson would miss, because I'm not hearing about any criminal charges being filed against him. If that is something that is, you know, warranted, I'm not hearing anything like that out of Houston.
I mean, I would imagine if they settle, the criminal stuff will probably go away, because usually, not speaking specifically to Watson, but usually when the people agree, both sides agree to settle, usually that means, like, we're not going to pursue any other avenues, and the settlement is just what it is. So I would imagine the criminal would go away if it is settled. But it's really about, as the lawyers have explained in some snipes back and forth to each other, it seems that Busby wants everything to be private, and Deshaun Watson and his legal team do not. So I don't know which side bends, but I don't know if anyone is bending anytime soon.